I'm very happy to be here, and Jeroen started his presentation with a confession, and I'm going to do exactly the same. Jeroen, thanks to you yesterday, I had an interview on the National Dutch radio, and after the interview, people called me and they said, "Gery, you are so relaxed." Well, actually, the truth was, when I was having this interview, I was lying in my bed. Yeah, and I couldn't make a lot of noise because otherwise people would say, "What is this guy doing?" Eh? And the interview was about privacy. Can you imagine me lying naked in my bed talking about privacy on the Dutch radio? It was no television interview, fortunately. Anyway, I'm very glad to be here and to talk about ZapFi. To be very honest and open with you, the company we're building, we are still in our very, very early days. A lot of the things I'm going to show you is still work in progress. But one thing is 100% sure, we could never do what we are doing today without the help of the SAS people and the technology of SAS we are using. Yeah? When people ask me, what is ZapFi about? I always show this little movie of Tom Cruise walking around in a shopping center in the year 53 in a movie called The Minority Report, and there are retina scanners in the shopping mall. They scan his eyes, and based upon the location and his profile, relevant advertisements are being served. This is the year, again, 2053. The technology that they are showing here is in fact already available today. Okay? And one of the big players in this kind of technology games is SAS.
Nowhere you're going,
A nightfall of diamonds.
you can move the old-fashioned way.
John Anderson.
Century 21.
John Anderson!
Escape from it all.
John Anderson.
Escape from it all. Just how it has been made. Forget your troubles with me.
Hello, Mr. Yakamoto. Welcome back to the Gap. How does assorted tank tops work out for you?
So today I'm going to talk about three things about trends. What are the trends that are playing currently in the market? And it's very important because we are talking to big operators and they always think they have a lot of time. And when I'm talking about the trends, I just want to show to them that everything is moving much, much faster than everybody is thinking. So trends. Then I'm going to talk to you about mobile marketing, how we understand it, and what kind of offering we are bringing to the operators, our main customers. And finally, a little word about privacy, because that's something that always pops up. And it's something when we started ZapFi now 3 years ago, from the beginning we said, everything we do, we have to make sure it's 100% privacy compliant. Yeah? Talking about trends, there is one major trend, and if you're looking at ZapFi and the industry we are playing a role in, or try to play a role in, there are 4 market trends. The big trend is that the pace of technological development is accelerating. And I'm just showing you there, 1993, the Apple Newton, 2013, the Apple 5S. Just look at the price. Say the price is the same, but look at the kind of added value that has been created in 20 years. Because the pace of technology is accelerating, you will see the same progress, not now in 20 years, but in 6 years. Yeah? In 1995, the most powerful supercomputer was a Cray computer. Yeah? The iPhone 5S is more powerful than the Cray supercomputer of less than 20 years ago. By the end of this decade, the smartphone in every one of your pockets will be more powerful than the IBM Watson computer, which was last year the most powerful computer on the planet. Yeah? So it's going fast, and it's going to go much, much faster the coming years. Yeah? And I always like to start talking about this, the Human Genome Project. That was a project to analyze the human DNA. Initially, it took 15 years to analyze the first human DNA. So, sorry, 13 years at the cost of $3 billion. Last week, a company in San Diego announced the possibility to analyze the human DNA for a cost of $1,000. Yeah, and they do it 5 per day. Yeah, by the end of this decade, this kind of technology will be built into your watches or whatever. So that's the development that's taking place, the technological development that's taking place these days. And that's also important for a company like SAS, because when we talk to operators, we often get the feedback, yeah, but the computing power that's required for that, that's not available, and blah, blah, blah. And maybe that's correct, but next year this will be solved, yeah? And I want to show you some little video. Don't look at the type of glasses the people wear, because they are a little bit funny. But everybody talks about Google glasses, and this is just an example of how this computer technology is going to evolve the coming 5 to 10 years. And it shows you the possibilities, yeah? And you also have to take into account the marketing possibilities by these kind of technologies. This is coming out this year for a price of $600, and I can assure you, if you check the website, spaceglasses.com, the design looks fabulous. It's not like in this little movie, yeah? Talking about the market trends where ZapFi plays a role, or tries to play a role, the first trend is the enormous increase in the number of mobile devices. Last year on the planet, there were 1.5 billion mobile devices. By the end of this decade, it will be probably approximately 6 billion, yeah? And a lot of, let's say, poor people living in third world countries, suddenly will have access to the latest technologies, can do e-commerce, can have education, etc. So this will have a very, very positive impact on the world economy. The second trend is that despite the fact that the revenues of the network operators are declining, because data, 4G, 3G data is declining, the revenues there. Despite that fact, the revenues will still increase by the end of this decade. Why? Because of over-the-top services. The first over-the-top service that will generate most money is cloud computing. The second one is intelligence, mobile marketing, mobile advertisements, yeah? The third trend is that because everybody has this kind of devices in their pockets, brands will use that to influence your buying or your purchase behavior, yeah? By the end of this decade, over $3 trillion will be influenced that way, yeah? And finally, the market where ZapFi plays a role is the mobile marketing market. To give you an idea, by the end of last year, the total size of this market was $9 billion. 70% was in the hands of two companies, being Google and Facebook. This market is going to grow to over 100 billion. For people who have seen my presentation before, last year the size was expected to be $60 billion. Gartner came out with new figures last week. They think this market will become bigger than 100 billion by the end of this decade. To put it in perspective, the total advertisement market worldwide currently is $500 billion. Yeah? So mobile marketing last year was 2%. This will grow to 25% in the next 6 years. Yeah? What's the challenge is that if you look at the digital market share, it will become bigger than 50% by the end of this decade. Yeah? So Jeroen was talking about Netflix, which is over-the-top video. I think that a lot of television companies, the same happened with the printed press, will have a lot of problems keeping their advertisement revenues in line. Yeah? So you will see a very, very big and a very fast decrease there. Just for your information, if you look at the media companies, the largest media company on our planet today is a company called Comcast. Okay? Comcast is a cable company in the States. They also have movie companies like Universal, etc. The total revenue of that company last year was around $60 billion. Yeah? The second biggest media company last year was Google. Yeah? If this trend continues and Google keeps on grabbing that market share, by the end of this decade, Google will have a turnover of over $100 billion. Yeah? And what we say to the operators is that you are sitting at the pipes, you are sitting at the connection between the people and the internet. You have to start analyzing this data, monetize this data, and that's the sales pitch of ZapFi. So mobile marketing. What are we doing? If for everybody or anyone here in the room who studied marketing, everybody learned at school about the IDA principle. It was about getting the attention of people in order to make sure that they went to a shop and they bought a certain goods. Yeah? So it was about I go shopping. And once people bought a certain good, you had to start the process all over again. Yeah? With mobile marketing, it's a continuous process. Why? Because of the simple fact that a smartphone is always in your pocket. Yeah? So it's no longer about I go shopping, it's about I am shopping. Yeah? So what ZapFi offers, our proposition to consumers is very simple. We work with brands and allow brands to offer their consumers free Wi-Fi in shops, etc. And so for end users, it's very simple. You just connect to the wireless network, you register one time, and you can start surfing for free. Why should brands do that? Because of the simple fact that we capture data. And I'm going too fast. So the second proposition is that we do not only do that via Wi-Fi, we also start doing that via 3G, 4G. So if somebody is walking in a shopping street, we can follow the lady, for instance, on the 4G network. She's very close to a shopping center. We can send her an SMS message. When she enters, for instance, a shop, we can send her via Wi-Fi a coupon, a discount coupon, or whatever. Yeah? What's the value proposition to both brands and operators? Very simple. We say, by using our technology, we let you better understand who your customers are. So we will give you the insight about what these people are, how often they come to your location, what their interests are, etc. And based upon that information, we give you the tools to send very targeted direct marketing campaigns. And that's a bit the pitch of ZapFi. How it works, we have built, together with SAS, by the way, a platform, a cloud platform, where operators can connect individual access points, Wi-Fi access points, for instance, in shops, or even can connect complete networks, mobile and fixed broadband networks. So if you, for instance, in the future, a customer of a mobile broadband operator, and you just start surfing, you go to, for instance, CNN, all the information flows to our platform where the data is being analyzed in real time. And thanks to SAS technology, we can understand the type of page you're looking at. For instance, we see, okay, it's a Mercedes, it's a new car, you're probably going to buy one of these cars in the coming months. And this information we use to update people's profile. The way it works is that when people are surfing the web, the browsing data is stored in a big data warehouse or big data database where we use SAS technologies to analyze the data in real time. And then based upon the location of the people, we can insert advertisements. Yeah? These are some examples I want to show you the type of information we can share with operators. So this is a graph. We are using visual analytics, for instance, which gives our brands or our operators user segmentation about what's the age of the people coming here, how often come they here, what type of devices are they using, male, female, etc. But this goes much, much deeper. This is what we call the digital fingerprint. So this is a digital fingerprint of a user based upon his surfing behavior. And if you see on the left button, arts and entertainment, that's somebody that spends approximately 25% of his time on Facebook and YouTube. And if you dive deeper, you will see what kind of movies he's watching on YouTube, yeah? And it's also somebody who spends quite a bit of his time on technology and computing. And then if you click on that, you will, for instance, see that he's an Apple addict or whatever. So this is very, very valuable information to share with brands, to learn them more about who their customers are. Yeah? What we also discovered is that even locations have their own fingerprints. So you will have bars, for instance, where we can see that people talk about a certain topic. So this opens new possibilities to say to people, okay, these are the places you have to go to because there are probably people who will have the same opinion about certain topics. Yeah? This kind of digital fingerprint we then use to build what we call the target groups. Suppose a new movie chain would like to launch a science fiction movie, we can exactly tell them what the audience is and where they will have the most chance if they do a campaign. We can say, for instance, you have to do it in the evening at 8 o'clock and you have to send it to this type of audience. Yeah? And then mobile marketing, of course. With all this information based upon the profile and the location of the user, we can suddenly send targeted messages to the people. You cannot exaggerate in that because then you have the commercial television problem where people start to zap. You have to do it in a very clever way and not overload people with marketing messages all the time. Jeroen quickly touched the subject of Weve because the first question we get from operators is, yeah, okay, but is that feasible and is there a market there? And 2 years ago, the 3 major operators in the UK being O2, Everywhere and Vodafone, decided to form a joint venture. And they created a company called Weve, where they invite people to become a member of Weve with the message, if you become a member, we will send you, based upon your location, targeted messages. Yeah? Weve is not using the technology that we are using today, the analytics of looking at the web pages, with the content of the pages. Weve is just working today with the location of people and their calling behavior and the type of device they're using. Yeah? But to give you an idea, when Weve launched last year, in less than 6 months, they had over 20 million opt-in subscribers. Yeah? And the revenues last year of Weve were over 50 million sterling already in the first year of doing business. Yeah? So it's not something, yeah, you have time to think about it. No, you have to act now. Otherwise, by the end of this decade, these big companies from the States will take this type of market share. Privacy. When we talk to operators, when we talk to big brands, the first question we always have is, what about privacy? And I think that's a very nice picture. It was in the Wall Street Journal last week. They are fighting over my personal information. Facebook and you, isn't it great? We have nothing to pay for the bar, yeah, and even the food is for free. What does that mean? If it's for free, you're the product. Yeah. What we are going to see the coming years, and everybody is familiar with the term of a CRM system, which is a customer relationship management system. Every one of us is in the CRM databases of major companies. The biggest CRM system on the planet is probably Facebook. But if you have bought a car, for instance, at Audi, or you have bought a washing machine, you're probably also in the CRM systems of these companies. Yeah? This is going to change, and I challenge you to look up on the internet the term VRM, which is a vendor relationship management system. So what's going to happen the coming years is that this will be turned around. Every one of us will have his own digital safe where his own profile is being stored. And every one of us will decide with whom we want to share this information, how long, what kind of information of the profile, and at what cost. Yeah? So this is going to change the coming years. And a very interesting book, by the way, to read about this kind of change in how brands will communicate with consumers is a book called The Intention Economy. You, as a user, will give the intention to buy something. I want to buy a new car. These are the specs. This is the price that I'm willing to pay. You can do me an offer within the next 48 hours. This is how it's going to change the coming years when we talk about marketing. Why am I telling you that? Because, of course, with ZapFi, we are capturing a lot of data about people. We know, based upon the location of users, where they are. We also know when people are at a certain location. We know who they are once they are registered, they opted in. And we also know what their interests are, based upon the type of data they are consuming online. So this allows us to build a very, very valuable and detailed profile of every individual user. We are fully privacy compliant. And the way we are fully privacy compliant at ZapFi is because of two reasons. The first reason is that we work with an opt-in mechanism. We always ask permission to our users to capture their data. And we say we will store your data in a very specific way, and if you don't like the system anymore, you can step out and your data will be destroyed. That's the first reason why we are privacy compliant. The second reason why we are privacy compliant is that we have to follow certain very strict procedures which have been defined by the European community. And one of these rules, for instance, says that we can only sell data in an aggregated, anonymized way. So we can never sell individual data. I don't know if any one of you is familiar with it, but there are websites where you can type in just the name of somebody or his email address, and the web page will feed all the profile information that's been stored of you in Facebook. Yeah? So these US companies today, they don't care a lot about privacy. And everybody can consult that. This is something that's going to change, and I think that's very good that's going to change. Yeah? Because again, we are going to a system or a solution, VRM instead of CRM. I want to show you a very little movie. It looks a bit boring in the beginning, but I think you will understand the message very well afterwards.
Privacy online is an illusion. I would lie if I said this is about to change, and I believe that it is impossible to protect one's information online. We should never think to gain control over our information in the digital world. It is possible through innovation, can no longer be said. It is just the way it is. Individuals need to adapt to systems implemented by organizations. That is the new way of working. Enabling individuals to control their own information is way too difficult. To log on to multiple portals using different usernames and passwords is the only solution to gain access to one's own information. Simplifying things for individuals, that is unnecessary. Individuals are treated badly. He turns the world upside down. Individuals are treated badly. That is unnecessary. Simplifying things for individuals to gain access to one's own information is the only solution. Using different usernames and passwords to log on to multiple portals is way too difficult. Enabling individuals to control their own information, that is the new way of working. Systems implemented by organizations need to adapt to individuals. "It is just the way it is," can no longer be said. It is possible through innovation to gain control over our information in the digital world. We should never think that it is impossible to protect one's information online. And I believe this is about to change. I would lie if I said privacy online is an illusion.
So again, the change from CRM to VRM, that's going to happen within the next 5 years. And by the way, this company Key, you pronounce it Key, it's a Dutch company, heavily supported by the European community. And I think, Patrick, that you introduced me to these guys, and they really understood it, so we are trying to work together with them. Talking about ZapFi, together with SAS, we are now approaching a lot of operators with our joint offering, and I hope it was more or less clear what the offering is. It's to help operators to monetize their big data by offering them the tools to better understand who their customers are and then to send very targeted messages. There are two people who can tell you a lot more about it if you're interested. First of all, that's Claudia Nieuwland, our CCO, and secondly, it's Cathy van Rooij, our account manager at SAS. And the two ladies, can you please stand up? There they are. So if you have any questions, contact them. And I would like to end my presentation with a nice, funny movie. I showed you the change from from CRM to VRM. The way brands are going to communicate with us is also going to change tremendously. And this movie tries to explain how.
Hey there. Long time no see. Looking good.
Yeah. Well, I want to divorce.
What now?
I think you're just fine.
Come on. This is me. What's wrong?
We don't talk anymore.
I just put down a mill on a TV commercial just to talk to you.
Exactly. You do all the talking. I can do the
Talk on our website, can't you?
Sure. If I want to say, order this product.
See?
It's not exactly a dialogue.
What about the print campaign? You can't tell me you missed the billboard in Times Square. It was like a 200-foot tall declaration of love.
You're saying you love me, but you're not behaving like you love me. It's not genuine.
I don't know. The agency said I was genuinely being funny. Genuinely being charming. They said you would love everything I did.
Well, instead, you're not doing a radio commercial. Look, whether you're funny or not, it's just, I've changed, and you haven't. I mean, we don't even hang out in the same place anymore. You're not even listening, are you?
Coupons. You want coupons, don't you? Look, come by the store. I got 2 words for you. Loyalty, reduction. All right? That was it, wasn't it? Let's just hug.
Listen, you don't care about that.
No. Sweetheart, I know everything about you. You're 28 to 34. Your online interests include music, movies, and laser hair removal. You have a modest but dependable disposable income. Am I the only one not getting the problem? Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Oh, I'll tell you what. Come back here tomorrow. I'll give you the chance to win a Bahamas vacation.
So the challenge is not only about helping operators to monetize their big data, it's also helping brands to communicate in a more intimate, effective way with their consumers, with their customers. And that's our challenge, and that's what we're trying to sell together with you. Thank you very much.